So we've had to call an ambulance for Edie. She's started trembling, like uncontrollably, and gone very stiff. Most families live in houses, but we live in a double-decker bus.
We're a family of 7, living life a little differently.
This is 7 in a bus. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be answering your questions. So today I'm going to be answering the questions that you have asked in the past couple of weeks, and my dad's going to be doing some random jobs, so I'm going to ask him while they're doing them. Dad, I've got a question.
Oh.
Somebody asks if you're keeping the doors on the purple turd automatic or manually operated or changing them completely.
Okay, so keep the doors as they are, so keep that aesthetic as a coach or bus. They are going to be automatic, because on this bus they have an airlift on the front door. So the door closes in, then lifts up into place. It's currently disconnected, so it just manually opens. So at the minute it is manual, but I'm hoping to make it automatic again, so it opens and closes on the air. We'll probably put it onto its own compressor tank though, so it's not on the main bus pressure. I need to look at it, because the piping's still there for it to work on the bus power, air, but I'm not too sure. It's not something I've really looked at yet, but I would like it to be automatic.
I've got another question, Dad.
I'm still on the same job.
It says, "Hi Conrad, when you started bus life, was it affordable to live comfortably? And what was it costing compared to now? Has it got more costly?"
It's a good question, because it's been 4 years. Your mindset changes when you live on bus, so I don't look at bills like I used to. When like you get a bill through from Yorkshire Water or Eon or wherever, you go, oh, bloody hell, I've got to pay that. We don't have them bills, so I don't look at it that way. Our fuel bill's still the same, and fuel goes up and down. We have got a fuel card now, which makes life a lot easier in terms of the cost of fuel, so that does help. Our insurance has gone up £10 in 4 years, which I don't think is bad, saying it's what it is. Obviously there's costs like the oil. Overall, yes, I would say it's still cheaper to live on a bus as it was 4 years ago. The only thing that's been more expensive for us this year is obviously having the diesel heater on during the winter. That we would have on with the other kids, because obviously Edie can't regulate her body heat and she can't tell us when she's cold. We'd have the heating on permanently, so it's always been like a steady 23, 24, 25 degrees in there, which has cost us a lot more money than last year. But in terms of everything else, no, it's not got any more expensive. Obviously the bus is tax exempt and MOT exempt. Obviously we pay for an inspection every couple of months depending on the mileage. The more mileage you do, the more often it gets inspected. Obviously during the winter, I think I've done about 400 miles in about 5 months. So it's during inspection next month, which I will go for, and get everything done that needs doing on it. So sometimes them bills are big, depends what's needed. Obviously we've had the repair at Christmas, and this is where it can get expensive. Obviously at Christmas Eve, see the video a few weeks ago, the mount and the coupling to the alternator dynamo snapped, caused a lot of damage. That's cost us best part of 400 quid to fix in parts and over the other things that we needed. So when that happens, it can get expensive, but it's no different, I guess, to living in a house. If you own your house, your boiler breaks, you've got to replace your boiler. That's probably 1,500 quid in it for a new boiler. So yeah, I would say it's still as cheap as it was 4 years ago, but each month varies when you live on a bus and what it's going to cost you. I think it's the same if you're in a van. When you get to your MOT, I always put a bit of pot of money to the side for stuff like that. It's just being proactive rather than reactive. Phoebe, question for you. Someone has asked, what tools have you learnt to use while working on the purple turd?
So I have learned how to use a lot of tools, including a drill, screwdriver, angle grinder, jigsaw, wood cutter, spanners, welder.
A welder. Just as an FYI, I have been present when she's used the welder and the angle grinder. What else? Anything else? What's your favourite tool? Why do you like this one?
Split charges.
Split charge scissors. They'll cut anything, them things, won't they?
Yeah.
Go on, get some wire. Let's do a test. Right.
Right.
I think there's some wire down there, conveniently. Can you see that one down there?
Oh, yeah.
Grab them. Grab that wire. So this is thick battery cable.
This.
Yeah, pass it there. Right. Phoebe, you hold, I'll snip. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's nice and thick. Show everyone how thick it is on the end. Very thick. Right, we ready? Here we go. One-handed as well. Wow! So it's got, so you got that, it's got strippers on it and clampers. So where can they find these scissors if they want to buy them?
Split charge website.
Yeah, and they get a discount on them, can't they, as well?
Yeah.
We'll put the code somewhere. Point where we're going to put the code.
There.
There!
I've got another question for you, Dad.
Oh, go on then. Put this down.
Okay.
Question.
Once we move on to the purple bus, this one,
Yeah.
are we still keeping that one?
The green bus.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, we are. And there's two reasons. One, I'll never sell that. It's like a family heirloom. What will happen to that when we move into this, I'll give this a refurb and clean some things up. Probably pull the bathroom out, redo the bathroom, fix bits and bobs that need doing, little niggly things, just keep me busy. And the second reason being, if this ever breaks down, at the minute, if this breaks down, we've got nowhere to go. We've got to go to a hotel or rely on family and friends and couch surf or park it up and hope we can fix it on the side of the road, which we have done in the past. This has got a lot more things to go wrong. Come here, I'll show you this. Come this way. For example, there's about 12 fuses on the bus, on the green bus. That nest of wires there is just one lot in this bus. So there's a lot more to go wrong. So if that breaks down, if this breaks down and this has to go to a mechanic, we can jump back in that one and make do while this one's getting fixed. So that's my two main reasons. But third reason is, it's cold, it's old, I don't want to get rid of it. And it's easy to keep, it'll just be the storage cost of keeping it. We'll keep it insured. Obviously it's tax exempt, which is even better. But if Phoebe wants to have her mates round, they've got their own bus.
So I've been asked a question about what's my favourite thing about living on a bus. So my favourite thing about living in a bus is that there's way more freedom than living in a house, because I'm not in the same place all the time, and there's a lot more opportunities that I've had since living in a house. So, and I think it's better because if I get bored of somewhere, I can always just move and it's not always the same view. And it's way cooler than living in a house, in my opinion. Somebody, it's alright. Somebody's asked Edie, but I'm gonna ask you instead. But they've asked, what is Edie made out of all the things going on in the purple bus and life on the bus?
Well, I think Edie is just chill, so she enjoys life on the bus. You woken up from your nap? Yeah, but when she's on there, she likes to just look around on the purple bus. And when she's on the green bus, she just rules the roost.
Dad, I've got a question!
Sorry, do you shout at me?
Yeah.
Go on then.
I've got a question, and it says, isn't there a way for you to install a battery tender for your engine battery so the batteries are kept up when they're sitting for days?
Yes, is a simple answer to that. So when the system goes in this bus, I'll explain it the simplest way I think I can. From the solar panels, they will dump all the power into our batteries, like a normal sort of fan setup. Excess solar, once the batteries are full, will then dump into our expansion tank to preheat water, so like heaters in the water, so we've got free electricity heating the water rather than having to use the boiler. It will then also, we're fitting a Starlink B2B charger. Now, reason for that, there's two reasons. Victron don't make one at 48 volt so far. They are doing, but it's not out yet. But with the Sterling, you can do something called reverse charge. So if I hold the button in, I think 5 seconds, it then sends all the battery power to the batteries on the bus. So that's one way we're going to do it. And secondly, we'll have a trickle feed from the solar coming down to the vehicle batteries to keep them topped up. So that's what we're doing now. This cable, which is very unsightly, just running down the side of the bus here, is plugged into this solar panel here. And when it is sunny, which is to say, it's just maintaining the batteries on this one, so if we need to move it, we can. On the green bus we don't have that, we didn't put that in when we built it. So on this one we've just got like a £35 24 volt trickle charger that I leave plugged into the mains, and it just maintains the batteries up in case we need to move quickly. So we've had to call an ambulance for Edie. She just started trembling, like uncontrollably, and gone very stiff, almost like a seizure, but I don't think it was a seizure because she's still quite responsive during it. So we're just waiting for an ambulance now to come to the bus, because we rang 111 and they've advised, and they sent an ambulance basically to check her over.
Daddy, here. I'll come with you.
She was crying.
How long does it last for?
Bum first.
Our breaches are out.
So just for a
That is a story.
That's one for grandkids. Good girl. Good girl. Really good. Dad.
I think milk will be better.
See if she'll take it. We can keep trying, can't we?
A little bit persistent.
Oh, hey, there we go. Oh, dear. Oh, should we put you in?
Not my mum.
Well, it's a bit longer, isn't it?
Just a bit, yeah.
How long do you reckon it'll take you to get it out?
About a year. We've had it a year. We've done a lot of welding.
I mean, I'm up for a ride.
Moving alright, it's fine.
Comrade, could you just bring me
More to drink, yeah.
Comrade, sorry.
We get to Iceland in 10 minutes.